beautiful day today. Let's continue inside in the bathroom instead of outside, although the weather is amazing. I am expecting some backup later today, but for now, let's kick off in the bathroom. So welcome again this week to the recap of the week. It's always interesting for myself as well to see what I actually did in a week. We kicked things off today in the bathroom, and more specifically we're making sure that these seams and tiles are watertight. So if any water would leak in this toilet area, it would not penetrate underneath the tiles. As mentioned earlier, we've got our guest arriving today, and today's guest is Peter. He's here to help me out in the bathroom for just a couple days. You've probably seen him in other videos as well. He's been a long time helping hand here at Villa Oliva. So the objective for today and tomorrow will probably be removing the plaster that is on the ceiling and on the walls. You've seen me work on this ceiling for a while, and also on the walls with Xenia and other people, but still not done. So we're going to continue with Peter here for approximately 2 days. So we've set up the scaffolding so we can easily reach it, and we're gonna try to get it all off. In the meantime, I am preparing this little test piece here, because as a lot of you mentioned, we've got this OSB panel on the floor of the shower, and I want to see if I can make it watertight with the same stuff that I used on the tiles in the beginning of this video. It's pretty good stuff, so I should be able to do it, but the problem or the question is whether or not the tile glue will stick to that top coat. So that is why I made this triangular test piece here, divided it in two. The right side is treated with the product and the left side isn't. So I can see whether or not it sticks on the OSB itself, as well as on the coat that I applied. Furthermore, I am trying to prep all the plasterboard for the plaster. I will get around to plastering once I've finished the ceiling. I think I'll do the ceiling first. Now that everything is out of the way, there's not a bathtub, there's not a toilet in there. So I can put the scaffolding anywhere I please and easily work on the ceiling. So once that part is done, I think I will go on with the plastering of the whole thing. And that includes this little wall here and the shower ceiling as well. So as you can see from our headlights, it is evening, and right about when it was getting pretty dark, this happened. It's hard to see, but this is the villa, and there was a little power outage. So in order to keep the lights on, we thought of a little plan. I've got a generator, and we created this little cable, and with some tinkering around, we created a cable that connects to the lights, so at least we've got some lights going on. And it was pretty fun to see that only the villa had lights and all the other houses, as well as the street lighting, wasn't working. And although this doesn't sound like very impressive, it was a very off-the-grid feeling, so that was very cool. The only thing now is that we need to design a more green option instead of running a generator to run some lights, so that is the next step. So here we have this structural piece of this pony wall, and what I would like to do is make it useful, as always. So I would like to make a little stand to put something on top of. So we have the faucet for the bathtub behind this little structure, and I would like to put a little plant on top of this thing to make it more nice, I guess. That reminds me, it always so useful to have friends and people over. Apart from the extra fun that we have and the memories that are truly unique, it always also saves a ton of time, obviously. I mean, we're working with 2 people here round the clock, so that saves me another me. So really appreciate it when people come out and go out of their way to help me out here. Quick little intermezzo. Whilst I'm editing this video, I am wondering what you guys think of this new style of editing, in the sense that I am making these voiceovers instead of talking in the video themselves. I am aiming for a mix of both. However, for now, I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about the voiceovers in these videos. I find myself improving time management wise. I often underestimate the amount of work and the time that it takes to do things properly. But I think I'm getting better at it, although sometimes it does feel a little bit frustrating, feeling that things are moving quite slowly. But then again, for example now, I'm looking back at all the things that I did, that we did, and I understand why things take long. It just takes a lot of time to do things properly. Thanks again, Peter, for the good company and all your hard work. Now you're officially part of the first floor bathroom at Villa Oliva as well.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.
Since at this point it was New Year's Eve, I decided to do something special. So I headed out to Genova with some friends to spend the last night of the year there with them. I'm truly loving this project and I'm so happy with everything that I'm doing, and I hope for the new year it will bring the same to all of you. So back to reality, more garlic. I think we need more garlic, so I started planting more garlic. Obviously, it's a joke. I've got so many garlic already planted, but couldn't help myself. I had this bulb laying around, and might as well use it in the garden instead of using it in the kitchen at this point. But to be honest, I need to start using it in the kitchen at some point as well, especially knowing how many bulbs of garlic I've planted. But let's see how many end up in the kitchen. So basically I'm continuing the work that you've seen Peter do. It is a lot of plaster on the wall. Still not sure if it's plaster with paint or just plaster. Anyways, it is pretty stuck on there, which is the idea. But from the looks of it, it doesn't quite convey how much work this actually is. There are some pieces that come off rather easy, but there are hardly any pieces that come off easily. It just takes a lot of time. So this bit right here, just see me working away, is about a day's work. So it's really slow. I just want to make sure that the layer upon which I will be painting doesn't chip off due to some humidity or whatever. So that's why I'm putting in the extra effort here to remove everything before I start painting. So just tidying up the job site here before we move on to a different task, which I started earlier but didn't get around to finishing because there was this big old scaffolding in the way. So some minor adjustments to the plasterboard that I mounted earlier, the reason being that I mounted them flat on the tiles. So when there is some water that gets stuck between these plasterboards and the tiles themselves, it will not be able to escape easy. So I should have lifted them a little bit off the floor, given them a little offset, but I forgot to do that. We did think about it, but I just forgot to do it. That's how these things go. Anyways, not too big of a deal. We can easily fix it like this. Moving on with the plaster for this little corner piece. As you can see, I finally made this little plateau upon which I can put a little cute plant, and the little triangle next to my knees is the support for the faucet of the bathtub. I'm trying to get these plasterboards as precise as I can, and I'm thinking about not using these metal corner pieces to make a very tight, neat corner. Although I am open to suggestions, so if you have a better experience with using the metal corner pieces to make it nice and tidy, then do let me know. Maybe I will use them. If not, I was planning on doing it just like this, plastering over it, and this should give me quite a nice finish as well. I think, never done this before again, but I'm guessing it should be quite alright. Try to make it as sturdy as possible as well. I can even use this as a little step towards the boiler room, but I don't think I should, but I could use it as a step up for a boiler room. It will be way easier to get up there using things that are already here in the bathroom instead of getting a set of stairs to get up there. I figured it isn't great to have a piece of wood in your ceiling with all the moisture and that, so decided to remove it. Set up the scaffolding, and now you see me removing this little piece of wood.
It's time to harvest some ginger for ginger beer. This should be one ginger.
So quick little cooking intermezzo. If you didn't get that, I was saying that I need to get a piece of ginger to finish up the ginger beer that I started a while back. It is actually so easy, just some water, sugar, and some ginger, freshly chopped up ginger. Boil it for a little bit, and then you add your ginger bug. Basically, that is all there is. Some fermentation going on, and then you've got some fresh homemade ginger beer. The problem, though, that I realized later is that it was a little bit too cold for the ginger beer to ferment properly, well, for the ginger bug to ferment properly. Inside the villa now, it is about 4 degrees Celsius or about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I didn't show you, but what I ended up doing was cover the ginger bug in a little heat mat that I have for sprouting seedlings. And let's see how that goes. I will update you later.
For now, though, good night. See you in the next one. Ciao.